So, 3, 2, 1. Hey, everybody, welcome to Social Hangout. Today, we are lucky enough, as you see on our screen, to have the actress, artist, and philanthropist, Miss Jane Seymour. Jane, welcome to Social Hangout. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you. It's good to be there.
Awesome. We're so excited to have you. So, I really want to jump into this. You know, my background and my co-host Melanie Berger. Your story of your parents or your mother in World War II really intrigues me, and I wanted you to share because you talk about overcoming adversity, and I think that's an extreme example of overcoming adversity. So I'd love to, have you share that, because we talk about like mutuality and human to human on Social Hangout a lot. So I think you're a great tie-in for that. So.
Well, my mother was born in Holland and was living in the Dutch East Indies in Indonesia in World War II, and she was incarcerated for 3.5 years in a Japanese concentration camp. And most people don't know too much about that, but it was very, very frightening. There were a lot of terrible atrocities that happened. They basically tried to stuff them to death. They tortured them. They had tenko. They had to stand in line in the cold forever or in the heat for hours and hours and say their number, and people were just dying like flies. My mother nursed people during this time in what she called a makeshift hospital. There was no hospital, there was no medicine, and basically she was just listening and caring for people and trying to help people get through it. So when I was growing up, what was unique about her was that she was somehow able to process that and move forward and start a new life. And she used to tell my sisters and I that when life is really challenging, as obviously it was then, that the natural instinct would be to close off your heart and not let anyone know what had happened. And if you could just accept what had happened, open your heart, and in some way reach out to help someone else, there would always be someone worse off than you. And that by the very act of being of service or helpful or listening or just compassionate to someone else, that gave you a purpose. And once you had a purpose, it was easier for you to deal with whatever trauma you were dealing with in your life. And so I interpreted that as two open hearts that connected, and I came up with a visual that was what we see behind me, this painting. And ultimately I made a single necklace just for myself because my mother had had a stroke. She was 92. I knew I would never see her again. She was at the end of her days. And I was doing Dancing with the Stars, and I just thought, I'm only ever going to get through this if I have something to touch and feel that reminds me of my mother's wisdom. And so that's why we all know about the open heart, because Kay Jewelers saw it and said, what's that? And I said, it's a really important message from my mother. And so I was invited to design a collection, and we've been doing it now for about 5 or 6 years.
Awesome.
And it's been very exciting for me, because wherever I go, if I see someone wearing an open heart, they'll stop and they'll start telling me their story. And every open heart has a story. And that's why we do that in the campaign, because people send me these extraordinary stories. And, it's such a shame that only I get to hear them. So we started a thing called keepanopenheart.com, where people could share their stories. And the idea is that we will all have challenge in life. And we all have the opportunity to open our hearts, accept, forgive, move forward. And that's what my mother's legacy is about, really.
Awesome. So, Melanie, I know you had a couple questions, so I wanted to bring Melanie Berger, my co-host, on. I don't know if she can. Apparently, we're having technical difficulties on the other end, so you're stuck with me. Oh, wait a minute.
Hello?
Are you hearing me? There we go.
Hi, Jane. How are you? Sorry about that.
Good, thank you.
Oh, yes, I definitely relate to your story. My grandparents were both Holocaust survivors, and I always say that, we never walk a day in someone else's shoes. So it is so important to have that outlook, and I love what you're doing. I think it's a great story. And with that said, it's very interesting because you say you get to hear all these different people's stories. Are you able to, do you see social media giving you, do you enjoy interacting with these people on social media? Like, is it something that you enjoy doing? Are you more active with some of your fans via Facebook or Twitter or Instagram? And how has that kind of affected everything that you're doing?
Well, first of all, you have to realize I'm a dinosaur. So for you,
you look amazing. Everybody, oh my God, please.
I sing and I go, and when it doesn't work immediately, I'm highly impatient. You know, it's like, that doesn't work. But no, I am now involved. I have Facebook, Instagram. I don't have a Twitter. I don't know why I don't have a Twitter. I think I was told not to have a Twitter. But sorry, Twitter. But if you want to reach me, Facebook, Instagram, but that's the best way of getting hold of me. And yes, I do read the stories. You know, what they do is I have people who work with me because I don't have time to read every single story, and they'll send me stories all the time. And, you know, if it's something that I can help out or be impactful in some way, or a story that we would like to put on our keepanopenheart.com, because we want to share these stories. You know, the story is not just valuable to me, it's much more valuable when we can share it with everyone else. And that's the beauty of the web, and you know, how extraordinary that in seconds you can do that. And I did just Instagram myself, by the way. I tried anyway. So I do love the intimacy of the web, the non-intimacy.
Yeah, right.
And you know, actually, you told me about your parents. That's much more important to survivors of the Holocaust. I was just in Washington, D.C. at the Holocaust Museum, and I'm just crying my eyes out because 3 of my family members were killed in Bergen-Belsen. And I only recently got the stories. I did a show called Who Do You Think You Are? An English story where you think you know who you are, and they find out things about your past you didn't know. And I was taken on this unbelievable trip through Poland and various other European places, and followed the plight of my ancestors, of my grandfather's sisters. And it was just extraordinary to me, you know. And how do you survive that kind of atrocity? And I think what I've been told is that when you're the child of someone who survived, you know, you have a very distinct personality.
Yes,
and
I totally agree with that.
Sorry?
Sorry, I said no. I definitely agree with that. You definitely know the granddaughter of survivors.
Did your parents meet during the war or after the war?
So my parents met after the war, but my grandparents met during the war. My mother was born on a cattle cart with 9 bulls after my grandmother and my grandfather were leaving Poland after they were leaving the work camp, and my grandfather delivered my mother on a handmade pillow today. It's an incredible story.
Unbelievable. Well, there are extraordinary stories. I think, I don't know about you, but my mother decided that she didn't want to hold on to hate. And so she actually went to Japan, and she looked around. She said, these are not the same people that I remember. And she decided to forgive, to let go, to move forward. So, you know, I think one of the things about open hearts, too, is that even if it's in your own personal life, you know, however awful something is that happens, once you're able to forgive and move forward, or even forgive yourself if you do something that you're not so happy about, a choice you may have made, you know, then you're able to move forward and have a life. And I had a near-death experience a number of years ago where I had anaphylactic shock, and I realized you only take 2 things with you when you die. One is the love you have shared, and the other is the difference you've made. And so one of the reasons I do the Open Heart Foundation and I have Open Hearts at all is because I just feel that a lot of people get very stuck in their own, you know, their own crisis, and they hang on to it for dear life, and they miss out on the beauty of actually having a full life and realizing that life is full of change and that the ups and downs are part of the whole cycle.
It's so true, and it's so easy to get caught up in all the minutia of daily life, and it's very often take time and smell the roses. And I say that, and it's so much easier said than done, but you know, you have such a positive light around you, and obviously what you're doing, and I absolutely love that. I mean, it's very important, and obviously if you wear something around your neck, you're going to constantly be reminded of always having an open heart. So fantastic.
Yeah. On my bracelet, or I always have an open heart on me. I always have an open heart on me nowadays, always. I feel undressed without one. I just feel that I need to be reminded myself to open my heart to other people, to other circumstances. If someone works for you and they screw up and you just want to get mad, there's no point. Open your heart to the idea that possibly they feel terrible too.
Yeah.
There's a lot of reasons to keep your heart open.
Yeah,
absolutely. It's a great message that you're sharing, and we talk about it here. It's a big movement on social media. I guess you want to call it grassroots, and it's great to see it in the mainstream with you talking about Open Heart Foundation and talking about just really caring about one another. And I think people need to do that more often. And it's amazing to see someone as big as Jane Seymour is out there talking about it, and it goes back for ages. So this isn't something new like so many people talk about. So Jane, I want to thank you so much today for coming on Social Hangout. It's been truly an honor to have you on air. When I told people you were coming on air, they were like, it was funny to you go from the Bond girl for some to the mom in Wedding Crashers. So you kind of have that the full gambit of. I love the way, and I'm going, wait a minute, when I was on an aircraft carrier in the Marine Corps, we watched Dr. Quinn, because that's what AFARTs played all the time. So,
well, there's a lot of Dr. Quinn Twitter accounts that are pretending to be you, by the way. You know that?
The thing is that I'm surrounded by children and grandchildren, so I had to get into the headspace of a millennial, and that's a whole other world. But I'm quite proud of the millennials, actually. I think they want things that are authentic, and they want to make things their own. And I think that's kind of wonderful, and I'm feeling pretty excited about this new generation.
Awesome.
Oh, God, thank you.
So real quick before you go, for the Open Heart Foundation, where should people go to get that information? Is the website or your website?
Yes, openheartfoundation.org. You can see what we're doing and what we've done in the past. What we do is we take people who have had a challenge in life and use it as an opportunity to help others. And we honor them, tell their story, have a presenter that relates to their story, who's probably had their own open heart experience too. And then the money that's raised that evening is given to the organizations that either they're involved with or that we mutually decide on. And then during the year, any donations we get go to other ventures and the organizations that we list on the openheartfoundation.org that we feel exemplify that. For example, we've got a program going called Strong Women, Strong Girls that is a mentoring program. And part of what they do is they teach the kind of open heart philosophy. So we support them all year too.
Awesome.
Well,
That's awesome.
I just wanted to interrupt. I see that Twitter, I have just received maybe 5-10 messages about other people saying, oh my gosh, I had a family member that was in the Holocaust, a Holocaust survivor. I didn't realize that was your background, and a bunch of people just sharing their stories. So, even just sharing your story like this.
And please have them share it with me on keepandopenheart.com. And also check out War and Remembrance. I did a 32-hour miniseries all about Natalie Jastrow, who was Jewish but didn't really know she was Jewish. She was never raised Jewish and found herself in Auschwitz. So I actually reenacted that whole experience with actual survivors, the most extraordinary experience I've ever had in my career. And having just come back from Warsaw and seeing what it was like there, and going to the Holocaust Museum and remembering distinctly what it was like to be naked and starved in Birkenau myself, surrounded by real survivors. I feel that, one of the great privileges in my life was that I was able to do something with my acting to try and let people realize what happens and how we must never forget, whether it's that Holocaust or, sadly, the Holocausts that are happening all over the world right now.
I agree. And pretty soon there's not going to be many of them left. And that story should never be forgotten. We should never forget that story. So it's so important. I applaud you for doing that work, because I know it's not easy, obviously, for your personal connection, and it's controversial, and just extraordinary. But I did want to share that with you, because I see a lot of people have contacted me on Twitter. So we'll make sure to get them all contacted.
My mother was in a different camp. She was in a Japanese war, so that was quite different. And my father actually opened the gates of Bergen-Belsen. He was with the British Royal Air Force. So
wow,
pretty extraordinary, yeah.
Wow, it is truly amazing, Jane. I know we're trying to get you off channel, but it is amazing to look at Twitter right now on the hashtag Social Hangout. There are lots of people who are amazed by your story right now. It's truly, Somebody might want to show you how to use Twitter just for 5 minutes to take a look at all your fans out there. There's amazed by a lot of people didn't know that about you, so it's pretty cool. So
I'll make sure they do. Because for me, the open heart, this symbolizes the universal symbol of giving and receiving love. And, you know, it was really inspired by my mom. I'm just a conduit for this, and I hope that it positively affects people for generations to come.
Absolutely. And your mom it's great to hear it. She's an inspiration to you. I know my mom, as I was a Marine, so my mom was like my biggest supporter when I was in the Marine Corps. So you know, I love my mom. I love the subject of Mother's Day that we're talking about. So, you know, I want to wish you an early
yes,
Mother's
happy and healthy Mother's Day early, for sure. I love my mom too.
Everyone in the military and all the families of people in the military, thank you for letting us have, you know, your sons and your husbands and your boyfriends serve us, and wives, of course. How can I forget men and women in the military?
Yes,
but
absolutely.
Something I can't even conceive of or imagine. That's too much for me to handle.
Well, it's been great talking to you, Jane. Thank you so much for coming on Social Hangout. Once again, everybody, go check out openheartfoundation.org. And we'll put that link up on Twitter and on Facebook. Jane, again, happy Mother's Day to you and to yours, and have a great, great weekend.
Happy Mother's Day.
Happy Mother's Day.
Okay, now I can go off of the stop sharing screen.
Okay.
There we go. Hey, everybody. Look, we're back. It was really
back?
We're
Wait,
back.
I don't see you.
We're live.
Oh, I
have to stop. Now you should see me again. I don't know.
Oh, hi. That was kind of weird.
I don't know who
but
people
it worked.
I can't tell if people can see me. Oh, there we go. We're going back and forth. So you do know we're really here. Look, yay. Woo, that was fun. That was
oh my God, I could have talked to her for like so much longer. I had notes and I rearranged the hotel room and I didn't get to ask her the questions I wanted to ask.
No, I had notes too, but the hard thing is she talked for such a long time. Just so you guys know, off camera, I still have the camera up. Literally, she's been going, so everybody knows how this works in Hollywood. Yeah. She's been going probably since about 7 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. She was in LA today doing these breakouts. You see a lot of them on media, but once again, Social Hangout being the front runner on all things digital, we decided to do this live and bring it to you like you're listening to radio and TV. We bring it to you here because we're the first ones that do it because we can. So call me cocky. Just don't call me late to dinner. So just amazing that she is on there. Amazing story. It's funny how so many didn't know her background. I mean, I truly didn't know her background either, with having, been a survivor. Her parents have been. Well,
I wanted to figure out why was her mother in Japan though? Like we were talking about that. So interesting. I mean, we could go forever to talk about this stuff, but how did she end up in Japan? People ended up in so many different areas, I mean, I can't believe how many people on Twitter, have a story. It's amazing. We need to share these with her. I think she would really appreciate it. And what I appreciate about her, she's not making it like depressing, right? So she was still very uplifting, and she had a very like Tamara McCleary air about her, very positive and like, wow, beautiful woman, Yeah,
that was that. It's amazing. I'm looking through here and I'm like, wow, this is amazing to see all the feedback. I mean, truly flattering to everyone that meant something to them. I mean, it is something that I always think it's not funny. It's weird that it's almost, it's what went on during World War II was horrible. And, it doesn't get talked about. We talk about so many other things and we're focused on Baltimore and all these other things. But, truly, that is our ancestry that we are part of. Our grandparents went through something that we could never explain. Trying to explain that as a father to children about what happened back then is amazing. So it was good to have Jane Seymour, who you would have no idea of her age. She is just gorgeous.
Oh my God. I wanted to ask her what her secret is.
And I had to behave myself with the comments that I would. But I do want to share with everybody, the great part about having Jane Seymour on is when I shared with people within my little inner circle that I was going to have Jane Seymour on, I called my dad, and my dad was like, I go, do you know who this is? Because I thought, I have tried. He's like, she's a Bond girl. I'm like,
yeah.
All of a sudden it's this uncomfortable. So what did I forgot that she was a Bond girl. It wasn't until I used a great app called IMBD or something like that. I probably screwed up that. But I went and looked, and she was Solitaire, and I ended up watching that movie, and my wife was like, really? You didn't know that she was a Bond girl? I'm like, she's like, you don't stay that hot, like, without being a Bond girl. Only Bond girls seem to stay hot. I'm like, that's true. Bond girls are hot all the time. And she's awesome. I mean, just listening to her talk, I mean, and the fact that she's not even from the UK is even better. That's what I love.
Oh, yeah.
it's a great point that she has that accent without being from the UK.
It's so hot. I wish I had an accent like that. Like my accent, when I hear myself back on these things, I'm like, I sound so Valley. Yeah. Not from the Valley. I'm from the Bay Area, but my accent is so. I want that accent. I wonder. I should like take. You could take lessons in LA, and get accents like that. So maybe that's what I need to do the next time I'm in town for sure. That was fun. I had so many more questions. Like I wanted to ask her what her secret was to stay fit. I wanted to ask her, even though we don't, necessarily need to tie it into Baltimore, New York. It's something, how would she feel? What could we do to have these millennials that are acting out? How can we do this in a positive way, not a negative way?
I did love what
I wanted to ask her.
Yeah, her comments about millennial were awesome. I love that.
I know. She's fired.
Anybody who's out there listening right now, these interviews are funny when we do this, so we don't get them for the full show. Could you imagine if we had Jane Seymour for an hour? Because that would mean. Even Ryan didn't get her this morning. My wife told me she was on air with Ryan this morning, and she was on for 10 minutes. So we had her on for 18, and so we had her on for more than Ryan Seacrest. So,
because I'm forceful. That's why. Because they were going to give us 10. I said no. I said the show's an hour. And then you're like, that's okay. I'm like, no, the show's an hour. How about a half an hour? So we got it.
So what did everybody think about that millennial quote? I love that quote of talking about, millennials and how they are a generation that changed. And she had to adapt to go back to, and it's funny, and I hate to like rah over the same person, but it's something that you hear Brian Fanzo talk about all the time, the millennial mindset. No, I'm not saying he's the Al Gore of it and created it, but you do hear him talk about it. So it is a mindset. It is a mindset that you do live in, and it's good to see somebody with children, and grandchildren living that. I mean, I'm not a millennial, but you could go ahead and try to challenge me that I'm not. And I think it's a mindset. I think it's a hyped up, I think it's cheesy to put people in. I think baby boomers are the last ones to really go. So it's pretty awesome that, she talked about that. I think that'd be I'd love to have her back on. I know we're going to have some other guests that are coming up. Our Friday shows are going to be like this. We're setting them high. I guess what do we have to do to go over 2 Golden Globes? Oh, next week we're going to have 3 World Series rings. So that does trump 2 Golden Globes. So I think that we could get that. That's pretty cool. But we need to, dive deeper into what she was talking about with open hearts. I think that's it. And it's funny now because now I'm back on camera. Now I got used to the radio voice where I could talk.
I know, right? Totally. You're like, I can go from like over here and there's my will make maybe it's me, but maybe it's not me.
Yeah, it's like, hello very much. How you doing? This is a little depressing. No, I really wanted to do that. It was addicting not to, because I really wanted to wear these while I was doing it, but I figured people would not like these shades. Like,
yeah, let's say that for Mariah in Vegas.
Like, hello, Mariah. Hello. No, just I'm having too much fun. That was fun to have her on today.
I know.
She is, she's awesome. I mean, doing a lot of research on her, to find out her background and to see the fact of what she's doing. I mean, I think the Open Heart Foundation is an amazing, amazing, amazing foundation. And to truly have people be able to go and share their story everywhere is amazing. To have a place where people could go share it, and to know that she reads them is even more interesting, right? The fact that she personally takes pride in that. It's not that she's just sponsored by somebody and is wearing their stuff.
No, she really does. And when we were on her website, what was really cool about her website, like she was saying, I wanted to ask her, it looks like, she's pretty big on Facebook. She's got 2 separate accounts and obviously they're verified, but we're trying to find her on Twitter, and she's not really there. So, that's definitely like the shift between people and their different ages and where they tend to kind of hang and where her fans hang out and stuff like that. But what was really cool about it is if you go onto Jane Seymour's site, she actually features 3 different fan websites. They're not official Jane Seymour sites, but she features these fans that have dedicated websites just to her, which is super cool. I love that. So it isn't that she's out of touch and she's not, fighting social media. She's trying to embrace it in the way that she knows how. So I think it's awesome. I love it.
Oh, I'm so excited that she was on. I'm still I had to put my Elvis shades on. It was so bright.
Yeah. Yeah.
I had to wear the Elvis glasses. People are like, that's not an Elvis. That's not Elvis's voice, Eric, just so you know.
Was that my dog did the Elvis lip? I can't really do it.
I spent too much time. Elvis Presley actually married the people that we were at the wedding. And it was funny. There were some old timers there, and they're like, Elvis just never ages. I'm like, he's dead, right? I didn't know if the guy was kidding or not. I had to break it down. He's like, Elvis never ages. I'm like, dude, he's dead. So, anyways, I'm just subject hopping now. I think I'm in shock I think I'm having stardom hangover.
So I'm so excited that all worked out because, I'm still in Omaha, as you can tell, with my fantastic lighting. Omaha, yes.
You make it sound like it's a restaurant that I can get sushi at. So
no, but I'm wearing actually camo, but it's sparkle camo.
Oh, that's my favorite color that we wore in the Marine Corps, sparkle camouflage. So the enemy is ready for a raid.
Snarky sparkle camo snarky sparkle camo. That.
Yes.
That's it.
So that was I like that. She did such a great job, and it is. I agree with there's one tweet out here that says that it's really, she does want to know what people are thinking. She does want to she is approachable. She wasn't, you never know what you're going to get. I hear a lot of stories of how some of these celebrities are approachable or they just hawk their product and they don't really stand behind it. She's very clear, very concise, and she does want to be approached. And she does have that. I mean, like Melanie said, she does have websites that she allows her fans to have, and they're everywhere. I mean, she has a ton of people on Facebook, and it's weird to drive people to Facebook that are tweeting me. But seriously, if you want to thank her for coming on, do that. It's awesome. I mean, it's to see just Twitter buzzing by right now. It's awesome that you guys are so excited that she was on there. It's very true. I see Barb Giacono. She's out here with, a person, talking about millennials. We're always going back to the millennial mindset. And it's true. I mean, you did hear it today that, here's a celebrity talking about it. So this isn't just us crazy people who walk around talking about names that no one knows when we say, when we get excited when a person named Jay Bear comes around us or a guy named Guy Kawasaki, and people are, we were just talking to Jane Seymour, and hands down, everybody knew who that was. It wasn't like no one that only we think is cool. Like when you use the word Coca Sexton and people are like, really, am I supposed to know who Coca is? So it's good to see that they're talking about millennial, that we're on to something here, that everyone does it, and that she recognized that social media is the way to go. And this also said a lot for folks out there. If you weren't paying attention, that was basically what you would see on your morning radio drive time commute is what we just did. And what we just did is showing where social media is taking us. Social media is taking over radio, is taking over mainstream TV. This is where it's heading. You were just part of a revolution. You were just part of a change. So you guys should understand that that's where it's going. We all grew up on TV, except for my kids. They've just grown up on iPads. But everyone else, you're growing up in this. So you just watched it happen. This is how we take over. This is what's going to be a reg on Social Hangout. We're going to have these folks come on and do these 20-minute clips, and we're going to talk about it. And it's going to be, we're
going to get them up to half an hour and an hour.
Oh yeah, we're gonna get them. We had to break the ice, so we figured we'd do it with a 2-time Golden Globes hot Bond girl, hot grandma.
Emmys too.
She has Emmys. Yes, Emmys. We can't forget. Like, I make it sound like Emmys are nothing. Like I have 5. I have 5 Emmys. But right. Somebody did just come back from New York and won an award. She's very humble and she won't tell you this.
I did think
but
Yes,
my
thank you.
co-host,
Thank you.
my co-host here did just go to New York and get a Shorty Award. Am I calling them the correct name? They have such cool names. What
Yeah,
award
Shorty
did
Award. But I won the Vox Populi, which is the most fan nomination. So I had 577 nominations from my followers on Twitter, which was 120 more than the guy behind me. So I won the Vox Populi in Blogger Shorty Award, which is kind of like the Oscars of social media. But they went so fast through the Blogger thing that they didn't even announce it. I got a picture on the screen and all that, but I don't know. They made time to give Taylor Swift 2 awards. So I guess.
Well, so you're not as popular as T Swizzle yet. Okay.
No. But I have been called I used to be called the Taylor Swift of blogging when I used to write about dating, which I don't do that anymore.
The other day I was called the Howard Stern and Opie and Anthony of social media. So
I know that news outlet's smart.
I like that news outlet. That was a great idea. I did not take it to my head. I just thought it was interesting. It's fun. Now we have like 30 minutes to sit here and listen to people.
We do? So what should we talk about?
Twitter's all over. Everybody wants to talk about the millennial mindset. I guess we could jump into that. I mean, everybody really is talking about it as I hiccup.
I think we should talk about what we talked about, Eric. The fact that basically there's so many people talking about, say, millennial mindset, relationships, return on all that stuff. And yes, I agree with that, right? But when we've talked about what we wanted to do with the Friday show, and that, say, Jane was such a perfect fit, is we saw her talking about it in like real life. And sometimes I feel like when we get really caught up in our social media world, that it can be intimidating to other people because maybe they're not understanding exactly what we're talking about. We geek out about Meerkat, or we geek out about Periscope, or even Twitter, because a lot of people that aren't active on Twitter, they're a little scared of it because they don't know. So I want people to know that social media is everywhere and everyone's using it, and that's why I think we both were excited to bring Jane on to show that it does transcend past just our little social media circle, but that it's further, and that it's an entertainment, and social media is entertainment. I mean, that's virtually what we're doing. So,
well, if you technically do, I'm dying here not having my trademark. Oh, feels so good. Whew. Sorry, I had to put the hat on.
What do you think about this horrific yellow lighting here?
So it's funny. What I did say, my wording of what I wanted to turn Fridays into is I'm sick and tired of hearing about social selling, social media, Meerkat, Periscope, everything else that goes on. It is just, I wanted to talk about real stuff that real people talk about, not just what we run around, as I call myself, a bubblehead, because I live here in the Silicon Valley, running around talking about it. You can only talk about social selling, which is sales. You can only talk about certain things. I mean, everybody talks about it every day. There's a bazillion podcasts. Everybody's podcast is the best. You know what everybody's podcast is in our world? Is a Vegas show. If you've ever been to Vegas, you know that every show has been voted number 1 on the Strip, and every restaurant is number 1. I wanted to change that up. I wanted to give number 1 an outside audience into our world to sit here and go and enjoy folks that come into this circle and see what we talk about and see that everyone is talking about it. She talked about mutuality in her own words. Same thing that Kari Anderson has talked about and what we've talked about with a good friend of the show, Brian Kramer. Human to human is real, people. And authentic was a word that you heard come out of her mouth. And you have to remember that at the end of the day, if you're not authentic, if you're spending your time hacking people's websites and getting rewarded to go on to freaking weak-ass summits, if you're getting rewarded to do these things and you're not authentic and you're fake, you're going to be found out. And I know people tell me, hey, Eric, don't open your mouth. Be quiet. Don't go there. And I'm like, why do I have to be quiet? Part of being a journalist, and yes, folks, that's what this is with us reporting to you live and getting guests like that. This is called journalism. This isn't some sugar-coated thing where I'm a social media expert. Melanie, you are a social media guru, and we're here to tell you how awesome we are. No, we're here.
I prefer Rockstar.
You prefer Rockstar. She is a social media rock star.
Why not?
Like that? You like the rock star? Let's check that out. But I think it's important that we do these chats, that we get real folks on there. I mean, we're doing this now. Folks, you don't understand the guests that we have lined up for you. I mean, Jane Seymour was the tip of the iceberg.
Yeah, what did you guys think of that? Did you like it? Tell us.
You guys like that out there? Tell us what you liked about that. I mean, we want to know, were we aiming the right way, or do you want us to come on here and be like, so Melanie, can you tell me a little bit more about how you feel about marketing today?
No.
Can we discuss social selling some more?
I still think it's important. We need to discuss that, but not all the time. I mean, we want to talk about.
I'm not saying that we shouldn't discuss it all the time, but not every day.
Every day, right? So, but isn't it fun to hear like James Seymour? Isn't it weird, fun, and wasn't it kind of weird to hear James Seymour saying the same stuff virtually that we say and mention millennials and all that stuff? Wasn't that cool to kind of step out of our little social media circle and see the bigger picture? I thought that was awesome. It was like she's hired, I feel, her third host on Fridays. I mean, she was in that same mindset, and she's talking about return on relationships and opening your heart, and it goes so much further. I love that. And yes, I agree. All these people, sometimes when you keep, we got to always practice what you preach. How about that?
Yeah, you do. And I think it's important that I'm not saying that we're not going to talk about social selling and that we're not going to have tech people on. For Crimini's sake, we're going to have Guy Kawasaki in 2 weeks. I'm not saying we're not going to talk about it, people. I'm saying that this isn't going to be an every Friday. Dan Evans is cracking me up by his tweet he just sent to me. He says, I cannot unhear that sexy voice. That I couldn't help it. I have Twitter up on the side while I'm talking. It's one of those big things that I think people need to understand of, I want to make this fun. I mean, Social Hangout, when it came to be where it is to have fun. I want to reach a gigantic audience. You guys that come here all the time, I thank you and I love you a bunch, but I want to invite more people to our tribe. This isn't like I just want a couple of you over. If I could fill up my house, and my wife would be like, don't be inviting people over. If I could fill up my house with all of you, I would, because that's how I think of Social Hangout, is the more people we touch, the better we're doing. And I think that's what we do. And it was great today to have Jane Seymour on and talk the exact same way that we talk about all the time at such a small level. It was.
How cool was that? It was like we told her to say that. But we did. I mean, it just, and and I hate to say something that I say over and over because I don't like to hear myself because I get bored of listening to myself. But I always say, we're not one-dimensional, and neither are you, and neither are you, and neither are you, and you, and you, and you. So if we're always going to talk about the same, I love San Francisco Giants baseball. Yeah, I can talk about it till I'm blue in the face. But I also, like rock and roll, and I love social media, and everyone knows I love my dog. So I can only talk about, you got to be well-rounded. And I think that's what hopefully the show.
Yeah. I think today was perfect proof that we're not alone we're not alone here. I sound like I'm doing a UFO show. We're not alone here, right? We talk about all these things, but it's good to see celebrities on such a huge level talk the same way we do. So it means that either A, people are paying attention, and B, we're all onto something, and this movement is real. This revolution, as I like to call it, this powerful movement of giving a crap about one another, about being selfless, right? Reaching out to help the common man is more than just buying the Starbucks from somebody behind you when you're at Starbucks. It's everybody's talking about it, and if we can get one celebrity talking about it, that means more celebrities are talking about it. We're talking about it. We know we have huge voices talking about it in the TED Network, and you always would trust a guy wearing Elvis glasses. So you should always listen to what I'm saying. But to be real, it was awesome today to see that. Talking about millennials, something we talk about all the time. It's just amazing to me. And I am blown away by the fact that she was 100% on. And folks, you have no idea, when Melanie and I read her bio and the things the presser that got sent to us, and we went, holy crap. She talks about the same thing. To us, it was like we were going to take a social bath again, like we did with Tamara. It was social bathing again. We were bathing with a Bond girl.
Totally bathing with a Bond girl.
Hashtag bathing with a Bond girl. Social bathing with a Bond girl.
Yeah, I love it.
Wow, that's a new hashtag today. Social bathing with a Bond girl.
That one's so long. Can we shorten social bathing with Bond? Can we shorten that maybe? Social bathing with Bond girl or Bond girl bathing.
Social Bond girl bathing.
I don't know.
I don't know. We're coming up with some people are like, what are these two people talking about today? But it was good. I mean, it's fun to see. Oh, people want to. I love it, and I'm going to share this because it's one of my favorite people in the whole world. I shared her as one of my 3 people you must follow when I was on a guest on Media Chat last night. In case you didn't hear who they were, the first one was Kari Anderson. That's at Kari Anderson. The second is my awesome. And in case you haven't figured it out, this is not a guest co-host. This is the official co-host of Social Hangout.
Yay!
She's my favorite Giant fan in the world, other than people who reside in the Mitchell household. Melanie Berger is officially my co-host. I'm so excited about that. So everybody go run and shout it from the mountain. So I listed Melanie as my second favorite. And my third, I said Lena Bate Johnson. I love her. She's at PeopleFW. And her question was, tell us the story how we got Jane Seymour on the show today. And it was an email, folks. It's the honest to God. It was an email that came to Melanie that was forwarded to me. And she was like, should we? And I was like, let's go for it, right? Because one thing I always preach on this show is you have to take chances. You have to take risks. You can sit your ass on the couch and that doesn't get you anywhere in life, right? That's a great place to take zero risk is on your couch. You're safe when you're sitting on your couch, unless you live in a third world country when earthquakes could strike, and then you're not so safe. But here in our country, sitting on your couch doesn't go anywhere. So I take risks. And I said, you know what? Let's go for it. What's the worst answer we're going to hear? No.
No.
Okay. And
Exactly.
I heard that in my dating life a lot. So
I still listen. We all hear it. You're gonna hear it. You got to hear the word no. Like you got to hear it. Like I said the other day, you got to hear the word no. Wait, you got to hear the word no, and sometimes you got to say the word no too to get somewhere, right? So we know how that all works. But that was like when we were asking how long. I said the show's an hour. Can we have an hour? No, I knew we weren't going to get an hour. So then I said, what about a half an hour? And I knew it's probably not going to be a half an hour. So I said, what about 20? Then he wanted to kick us down to voice. I'm like, no, we need video. The reason we need video is because of A, B, C, and D. And if you keep pushing, then that's how you get somewhere, and if you hear the word no, then try again.
Yep. It is very true. The way we did that, if everybody, we went on a phone call with this guy out of New York, and we were relentless. We played good cop, bad cop, and Melanie and I have never been on a pitch or a sales call together. And here we are doing our thing. And everybody needs to know we met at Social Media Marketing World 15. It was our little, I guess, brat pack or millennial mindset pack or whatever the hell you want to call us. But it was a pretty legendary group of people walking around that I loved every minute of hanging out with all of them. And, we get on the phone with this person and, we get on the phone with this guy and we just said what we needed and we got it. And the fact was yesterday, folks, I hopped back on the phone with a guy while my sidekick here was traveling for a Cox business event, which rocked yesterday. And I was on Twitter checking it out. And you should go back and check it and give it a whole bunch of likes and retweets. But
yeah, I got some good stuff.
The guy tells me, he goes, Eric, brands want digital. This is where they're going. And he goes, would you be interested in doing one of these 5 days a week, even if it's only 10 minutes? So guess what, folks? You're going to hear it here first. I said yes. What? So whether it's 10 minutes, 15, 20, 30 to an hour, you're going to see my smiling Jack Ross face all the time with some awesome guests. So we're going to rock one on Monday. Now, Monday's guest is pretty dope. He is talking about it's Small Business Week next week, for those of you playing at home that don't know. It's big for me to have this. We're having 2 people on. 2 of the guests, it's 10 minutes.
You have to clarify because you just explained that and I didn't get it.
I know. See, people don't get it. I have to go read this to you. I'm reading.
Now I know. I'm not understanding what's happening.
I'm having too much fun. People are like, these 2 are clowns. So next week is National Small Business Week. And we're going to have 2 people on for 10 minutes. It's just 10 minutes. It's quick 10 minutes, a sound bite. You can't say no to this. You cannot say no to me for 10 minutes. Well, you can, but I tweet a lot, so you probably don't want to say that. Just show up. I mean, it's like just show up with your booze. Okay, don't show up at 9 o'clock in the morning with booze. But seriously, I did not tell you to do that. But
with your what?
With booze, not your boss.
Oh,
you should show up with your boss, no matter what. But show up with everybody. This is about small business sentiment in the last 5 years. Is at a 5-year high since the recession. But the growth challenge still persists. So we're gonna have we're going to have Gene Marks, who's written for the Washington Post, Inc.com. Interesting enough, he did not buy a list and put his friends on it. And he's a Fox Biz small business contributor. And then we're going to have the head of small business banking from Capital One, Carrie Goldman. She's going to come on also. So we're going to talk about how we have done these fueling small business in America and how we can help this. They're going to give their best tips. We're going to talk about why optimism is finally at recession levels. We're going to talk about top challenges today that you face as an entrepreneur. I know a lot of our listeners fill into that. So we're going to have them on. I'm going to release more information about this over the weekend, but we're going to do this. And I think this is something people need to know. You get this on the radio, but why can't we get it here on social? We take time out to listen to people Meerkat. We listen to our friends in the UK talk about Meerkat and Meerkat till they're blue in the face. And now Android is meerkatting, and people meerkat about everything, right? We can meerkat.
I did a Periscope last night. I haven't done one yet, and it was funny actually. By the way,
I love that comment that just came across on Twitter. Show up with boobs. I sort of have to.
That's what I was like. You show up with booze, yes, or booze.
You could show up with the other ones too. I'm all for. Woohoo! We showed up with a Bond girl today. Social Bond girl bathing. Hello.
Are we talking B's or Z's or? I don't know.
I'm going to get myself in. I'm doing the Elvis voice again. I'm going to get myself in a lot of trouble.
Yeah.
I'm going to get fired from my own show. How the hell did you get fired? I fired myself. I crossed the line. I don't think that's possible. I like to yell too much. So, it is funny, to do this. And it was a great question of how we landed this. It's going to lead to a lot of great things, folks. We're going to have more celebrities on, more sports stars, more people that you want to talk to. And in the meantime, we're still going after people. I see Richard Branson came out here, and, I'd love to have Richard Branson on. I do have a couple of connections that I'm reaching out to get him in there. And, my number one, somebody wrote it on here, would Guy Kawasaki be my number one guest? If Guy is listening, Guy, yeah, you're my number one. I'm really, I don't know. I have, for me to get my best guest, that's a good one. Who's yours, Melanie? If you could have any guest on our show, who would yours be?
Oh my God. I feel like my brain's going into rock and roll, like into like a rock star kind of a person. But I feel like it may be kind of going over to like Jared Leto, which takes it more into like an actor, and he's single. So I think
this is all about Melanie, by the way, everyone. We're now
exactly.
We're playing the celebrity dating game now, apparently.
Well, I mean, if you're asking me, this is how my brain works, right? So then because he's like a rock star, and he's single, he's gorgeous, and who wouldn't want to talk to Jared Leto, right? But I don't know.
If anybody would ask me, and everyone's going to laugh, my wife always has a laugh over this, that my favorite person in the world that I would love to talk to for a long time. Okay, I love the one that just came flying in out of left field from my favorite person in Sonoma County. Lynn, you cracked me up. She screams Metallica. I'm like,
yes!
That's a great one. You can never go wrong with Metallica. I was actually thinking more because I love journalism. I love hosting the show. I love being on camera, as everyone can tell. I don't have the hair, and I'm probably outweigh him by a good 50 pounds, but I would love to have Anderson Cooper on here. I am a huge, I love Anderson Cooper. Like, that's
my would be fun. Jimmy Kimmel.
Jimmy Fallon.
Jimmy Fallon.
Or either one. I mean, like, we're paying. Like, no, we won't take either of you. No, we should go get some. We should go get somebody. I was almost going to say a name that really would have pissed people off, and I was like, I shouldn't say that. Don't say that. It's the voices in my head, everybody. Jude Law. Somebody said Jude. Oh, I would love to have Jude Law on the show. My brother actually went to NYU, and this sounds really creepy. I'm going to share this story, but my brother lived across from Jude Law at NYU when he was staying at their offsite dorms. If you've ever been there, most of their dorms are offsite at NYU. He lived right across from Washington Square by the Arch, and he used to see into the windows of Jude Law's house. That sounds really bad. Yes, my brother is kind of creepy. No, not really. He's not. But that would be Jude Law would be a good one. I like Jude Law. He made a great movie as the Marine and me. See, now she's talking. See, Lynn. Okay, Lynn. Next time you see him in the grocery store, tell him he needs to come on Social Hangout. If you can get Kirk from Metallica to show up on Social Hangout, we would.
Or maybe even Lars a little bit.
Lars, you know,
only if he
is next Friday.
Only if he wears his shorts, and you can wear his shorts, and you get up and you do a little turn, and those little that he uses when he drums. Because I don't know how he wears those shorts, but he does.
But that movie they made was really good. In case you haven't seen it. So everybody out here, while we have 9 minutes, is anybody gonna go see the new Avengers movie? I know some people are out there, have done it last night in the middle of the night. Anybody gonna rush out and see it?
Nope. I'm gonna watch the fight tomorrow as soon as I fly home from Omaha.
Yes, the big fight. Who's everybody got? Twitter, tell me who you got. I see there's like arguing going on. There's like an argument on Twitter right now. I'm like, everybody behave. I'm the one that caused controversy. Damn it! Don't start it without me. What did I miss? I'm the kid who always wants to end up where something's going on. It's always too much fun. This is always too much fun.
You are so funny right now because you're reading your Twitter feed.
No, I'm not.
Are you sure?
I feel like I'm missing something. I always feel left out. I FOMO.
You were totally just FOMOing live.
I was live FOMOing. I suffer from live. Yes, so I am. So we do have one person watching the Avengers. We do have people watching the fight. I plan on watching the fight.
So you know what I'm doing today? I'm going in Omaha. First of all, there's a casino right next door, and people know me. I love my slots, which I had to check out last night. Secondly, I did the Get Started event, which you mentioned with Cox and Inc., and it's always a fantastic event. Startups, kind of a Shark Tank style. Was great. I had a great piece of steak. They have like literally giant cows on plates that they serve you, which is pretty cool. So I think today we're going to go, and Warren Buffett is actually in town. It's the biggest day of the year here in Nebraska. I'm in Iowa right now, but Nebraska is right across the street. And we're going to go and check out this whole huge investment something. And then we're going to go to a bar that has champagne on tap.
Wow. I'm going to go see the Avengers later. Yeah, that's about, yeah. Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. I don't have anything like that. I wish I had that story.
Yeah, but you can't see how red my eyes are because I've been on a plane every week for, I don't know, a long time. Somebody tell me.
Today's the first day I don't feel like I'm Vegas hungover still, so.
Takes people a while.
It does.
So what are we doing? What are we doing next week? Do we know?
We are, looks like, and hopefully he'll confirm here soon. Looks like we're live broadcasting from AT&T Park in beautiful downtown San Francisco on the waterfront, home of the 3-time, in just this last 5 years, world champion San Francisco Giants, talking to their head of social media. As the players warm up, we will be on the field. It's going to be a later show, folks, so set your calendars. We are respecting our friends at Community Manager Chat to not go at 11 on Pacific time. I'm going to go at noon. But seriously, if you want to know how baseball teams like the Giants, who've been to the World Series and have had to grow, they're also one of the only teams that deals basically 100% on social. It's funny, here in the Bay, we have a strong social presence with our team. The Golden State Warriors, they're the only team that is followed by I forget the name of the product over in China, but they do that there. So they have a huge...
Well, you want to know why? Because their coach is a University of Arizona Wildcat. That's why. They're smart people. That's probably why.
That's exactly why they do it.
Yeah.
I agree with you 100%. He's because he's a Wildcat.
Well, he's a smart guy. And I'm a Wildcat.
Very big. He's a very, very cool cat. Huh,
totally.
Wildcat. You like the way I pawned that into that? No, but seriously, we're going to be with the Giants. We're going to talk to them about what they're doing, how they're doing it. They do a lot of unique things there. We are going to cover that wonderful. We're going to cover that wonderful topic of meerkatting and Periscope. What we're not going to talk about when it comes to meerkat and Periscope is which one is better. Because I'm over that conversation. Please don't bring it to Social Hangout, or I'm politely going to show you where my size 13 fits very well. Because I'm going to boot your ass off the show because I don't want to hear which one's better. If the product hasn't been around for a year, don't come at me telling me which one's better. They both have their, unless you're paid by them, then come on. We bring on our boy Ben Rubin. He can talk about how awesome Meerkat is all day because he created the damn thing. But don't tell me which one's better unless you're like, you know what you're talking about and are qualified to tell me which one is better, because you should just use it and have fun. It's cool. We get to broadcast and stream live. So we're going to talk about how baseball teams are using those things and do other cool walk the park. I'm planning on doing this a little bit mobile from my phone. I'm trying to make it. I mean, what do you guys want to see? If I'm going to a ballpark, what do you guys want to see? How do you want to see how they handle social? They're one of the greatest teams around that handle social live during the game. They actually have somebody who live tweets from the dugout. They have live tweets everywhere. They actually have an area in the ballpark where you can tweet. Like, they encourage you to do it. They actually show your tweets. They get a lot of their photos come from their fan base that is based there. They do a lot of interaction with their fans where other teams haven't got to that point yet. So
it's a lot of things. I mean, it's all great. I mean, that ballpark, even just the creation of that ballpark alone changed that area of San Francisco, which used to be such a not very desirable area to go to. And now, you know, I mean, that ballpark is my favorite. I've had a million birthdays there. I love that ballpark. You can watch from outside in a boat. You can have free seats. You can have close-up seats. You can have like gourmet sushi. It's clean, beautiful. Giants fans rock.
Best fan around.
Really. And then what's so interesting about that ballpark was, you know, they also do shows there, you know, and then they also honor all the different people of San Francisco. You know, they have like a Grateful Dead Giants night. They've got like for Italians Giants night. They've got Dog Day, you know, and they really bring the community together at that ballpark. I mean, they do such an excellent job, but I'd be curious to see who does the live tweeting, you know, or who does the tweeting or the fan websites or Facebook pages for the players. You know, how much involvement do they have with that?
We're trying to get Mr. Social Media himself as a player, Mr. Pence.
Yes.
He's very entertaining. If you don't follow Hunter Pence, you should run out and do that. He's pretty epic.
Yeah.
I'm a huge fan of Hunter Pence. I think I'm a huge fan of everybody. I don't think anybody's like, Eric, do you not like anyone? I'm like, no, I like everyone. Except the people who keep unfriending me. What the hell?
Oh, who cares? Let them unfriend away.
I don't.
You don't want them. They're not true friends.
They can be upset. People are upset because I said something.
That's okay.
I know. I'm gonna hug myself.
If they Gene Bradley
wants James McAvoy as a social hangout guest. That's a good one. He was in X-Men.
I mean, don't you hate when people do that? I mean, I've written blog posts about this before. I mean, how passive aggressive can you be by just unfriending somebody on Facebook? If you have something to say it to my face. Pick up a phone.
Come at me, bro.
What?
I said, come at me, bro.
Right, but like, say something. Don't be so passive aggressive. Just be like, I'm unfriending you because I'm 5. You know.
I like it. I like it when they cap lock me and call me names. And they don't like it when my answer is wow, did you Google that insult? Do you? I love when people try to insult me like, oh, that was cute. Like, you guys know I was in the Marine Corps, right? And I've been insulted in every language. So you really need to come up with something better than what you came up with. I mean, it's kind of like being weak sauce and hacking somebody's website. I mean, what kind of balls does that take? That just makes you look stupid. So don't do that. Don't hack people's web. That is the hashtag for don't hack people's websites. You shouldn't do that. That's bad.
It is bad. And if that does happen, Security is a really good site. I use it on my blog.
Security is very important. If your site could get hacked by a 51-year-old, if a 51-year-old can hack your website hiding in Pennsylvania, then you need better security. And for that, my co-host here has a great product. Tell us more.
Okay. And what you will win, yeah, that would be fun. We need to do that. But we can only do it with a cool brand, like something super cool.
Yeah.
I don't know what.
Yes.
You know who I like that, you know, there's this
Everyone. You
thing
like everyone. You're a host of a show. You have to like everyone. Don't say who.
Oh, well, yeah. I'm snarky. That doesn't, I'm just honest. So I don't like everyone, but I like some people more than others. How about that? Is that politically correct?
Yeah.
There's this company in San Francisco, and they take old, like, everything, old cases, and they repurpose them as boom boxes. So they have old record cases from like back from Columbia Day record, like when Columbia Records, like when there were really labels still in the music business, or they'll take an old suitcase, they'll repurpose it as this fat boom box, and you can hook up your iPod to it. And they got their start with blogs, and now the guy is huge. I would love to get that and do a giveaway and like show it off. I mean, the thing is so cool. I'll have to send a link out so you guys can check it out.
Yeah, I want to bring boom boxes back.
No, it's called the boom case. Okay. Check it out.
Can I put it on my shoulder?
Yeah, you can. They even have like old Nintendos. Well, he'll take like an old Nintendo and he'll like hook it up to an old lunchbox and make it a boom box.
Boom box.
And I've been trying to get this guy for the blog, and we were kind of talking about it, and I ended up getting busy. So we need to go back at him and do that because it's just too cool. I love it.
She's like, I've been kind of busy. I've been winning awards.
Yeah. No, I've been living on a plane.
Living on a plane? That's not a bad life. I could live on a plane.
Well, look at this lighting.
That is awesome. But you have a sink in your room.
I have a hot tub, actually. Can you see that? I have a hot tub in my room.
Oh, that's fancy. What the hell is going on in Omaha? What are those people doing?
I don't know. And it's 2 bedrooms.
Do they even have Do they even have Twitter in Omaha? Listen, do they even have Twitter in Omaha?
Actually, the people in Omaha were very, very nice. There were quite a few Cox people out here that are in the Omaha office. I met someone great out here. He's got his own agency, and he's huge on Twitter. So yeah, they were great, and they're very polite, and it's actually beautiful because I didn't know what I was going to expect. And I mean, being from California, and then the drought, and then like living in Arizona where it's desert, you fly in here and everything's green and there's water. I don't know why we can't borrow water in California from, another state so that, you guys can take longer than 5-minute showers without being penalized. Or my parents, at least in the Bay Area, they're getting penalized for using, too much water.
Yeah, it is kind of interesting. We could have a whole show topic on that. Somebody goes, Eric, do you know it's past 10 o'clock? And I said, yeah, I did. You could tell my concern.
Yeah.
I'm not really worried.
Well, that sounds so exciting about next week. So you'll have to tell me more.
About the Giants? Well, once I know more, I sent the man.
Who else? I wonder who else people. I mean, I probably could. We should put a list together. That would be fun to do, like your top 10 list of people. Because I know, obviously, I was just kind of doing it off the top of my head. But I mean, there would be so many people that I would want to. I'd want like a good mixture, like a little bit of entertainment, a little bit of politics.
I would love to have a little bit of politics. I would love to have a little bit of everything on there. I think it's important that we do that just because it's important to be well-rounded. I think as Social Hangout was created to be that all-in-one, I'd like to, it'll spin off into other things. It's important that we do that. We cover everything. It's everywhere. I want to broaden the audience. I mean, it's great, the folks that we have. Don't get me wrong, folks that follow us. We love you guys. They
like this too, or they wouldn't. Okay, so they like this too, or
we need fresh blood. I need more people to go. He laughs at my jokes. I need more people to laugh at my jokes. Please find more people to laugh at Eric's jokes.
Well, I'm here. You brought me. I'm fresh blood right now. I'll laugh at your jokes.
Yes, and we get more people. I mean, and it's great to see people. And my favorite comment coming across is from Lynn saying she scheduled her next business call at 10:30 because she knew we would go over. It's like people know our show so well. They're going to go over. They are. And hold on. I do want to touch on one subject. And I know I'm guilty of it more than as the next person. But I'm really, it seems that everybody and their mom can trend now. It seems to be the easiest thing to do. Even though we're not currently doing it right now. Or somebody told me we were some part of the world. But anyways.
We were where?
I don't know. I don't care. it doesn't really make or break my day. I'm not going to lose sleep over it. It doesn't pay the bills to trim, just so everybody knows. I care more about broadening my audience. It's more about quality than quantity. So just because I do a lot of shows, I want as many people as we can get. That's how we're constantly going to grow and make ourselves better. As the more well-rounded we become, but the more people that we have, and
well, and we also need the support of the people that we support.
Yeah, for sure.
Is that a good point?
That is a great point. That was a good point.
Thank you.
I'm kind of hooked on my microphone today. I think talking after talking to Jane Seymour, I'm all like hooked on the mic. Like, okay, I have to show you guys on camera how I was holding this, because this is real fancy stuff we had to do. So Jane Seymour was on my device and she was talking. I literally had to hold it like this the whole time in the background to my microphone. Let me show you. I have see the microphone? Ooh. I was like literally like this with it. That's how we were doing that interview, because we're still trying to perfect the little things. As you could tell, this is a bootstrapped recording studio. As you see the garbage in the back. Oh, it's not garbage. It's my kid's handprint as a watermelon upside down. Pretty cool. And some chill pucks that I'm trying to get rid of. Anybody want a box of chill pucks? Because I really don't. Because
I don't even have mine yet.
They're not missing very much. They like only stay cold for like 10 minutes. Let's not kid ourselves. They're more like a made on TV kind of product. If you want some, the next time I see you, I'll bring you a box and you can have a box full of them. It's not that exciting. I'm more into the new t-shirts that we have coming out. My friends over at Social Drugs with a Z, and they're just on Twitter. Go check their site out. We are creating, we are have these shirts coming out, and you can go check them out. They got some great like startup shirts that are funny. And we're making more, but we are making some. I was a guest on Social Hangout, and all I got was this T-shirt. That one's coming out. And
that's so cute. I love that.
And we are getting a Social Bath shirt made. So these will be available for folks to go on and check out Social Drugs. They are a great friend of the show. Before we sign off, I want to thank our friends at Anigo app, our friends at 15.5, and who else am I forgetting? I'm forgetting someone. Oh, Loot. Check out Loot. I'm a big friend of Loot. I love and you met Nick when we were at, where the hell, Social Media Marketing World.
Yeah.
It's good. Go check out Loot. Great product. His Social Drugs is something else that they're spinning off. It's a great product. So, got a big week ahead. I'm supposed to have a show on Monday. I don't know. I'm pretty sure I'm having a show on Monday. It's exciting if you're into social selling. We will have Kurt Shaver or Schaefer. It's VER is the last of his name, and I'm not calling it, but people have called him Kurt Schaefer. And I'm like, well, there's a V there, so it's Shaver. Schaefer, I don't know.
Eric, I gotta go.
Go.
I'm sorry. And my computer's gonna die, and I gotta go. Okay, thank you so much. I'm so excited to be the new guest, and that was so much fun. And I hope you guys enjoyed that, and I'm looking forward to many fun Fridays as your new co-host for Social Hangout. So hope you all have a great weekend, and I'm gonna go, do that thing that I said I was gonna do before.
Yes,
okay?
go do that thing.
Okay, bye. Have a good weekend.
You too.
Bye.
Talk to you later. And everyone else who that's still here, I like the idea that just came across talking about book writers. So let's start. I'd like to start books that we like, and let's start all checking out books. So anybody with any good writers out there want to suggest some books that we check out during each month, let's start doing that. I think that'd be cool. It's the beginning of a month, new ideas. Totally want to do that. So I like that idea from all our friends in Australia. Anyways, folks, it's been great. I could talk forever, as we all know. That's what I do best. Thank you at Lux Puff for coming on. We appreciate you watching. Hopefully you can go back. I'll have this posted up in a minute so you can see the beginning of this is going to be on the, I'm pointing at it. It's good. I'm looking at my Twitter screen pointing at this. Wow, I need coffee. Anyways, everybody, it'll be live on YouTube moments after I push this button to finish the show. I'm going to throw it into so it works on SoundCloud, and you can download it on iTunes and in Stitcher for you folks using things called Android devices. You sure may, Lynn. You may, my dear. Please drop the link at PeopleFW. Is going to drop a link in here with the hashtag social hangout for hashtag It's All Books. Please drop the link into there. That'd be awesome. We'd appreciate it. Everybody out there, if you have any questions for me, you can always reach me at Eric L. Mitchell at social hangout, or you can email me at Eric L. Mitchell. Oh, I said at. You can actually reach me at Eric L. Mitchell at gmail.com, or feel free to give me a call, 408-206-9549. Send me a text. Do about anything. I'm always open for questions, concerns. No heavy breathing in the phone. That's kind of creepy. And you guys rock. Thank you so much. Jed, thank you for watching over there on the East Coast from the Carolinas. I appreciate it, bud. I'll talk to everybody really soon. Everybody, have a great weekend. And from San Francisco, from my family to yours, have a great weekend. Enjoy your weekend, and see you all Monday at 11 a.m. Pacific.